All right. So it has been an embarrassment of riches today in the HBO The Last of Us information. There was already a panel at CCXP, which I still don't even know what that stands for. And then they shadow dropped a trailer. Maybe it wasn't a shadow drop, but I didn't know a new trailer was coming out. I've already watched it, but now I'm going to do my little breakdown of the actual trailer, and I have the audio turned off because they don't say a whole lot that totally, you know, helps with anything other than it's probably the first time you really get to hear Bella Ramsey's voice as Ellie. But most British actors are always good at sounding American, so she does a great job. Let's start it. Okay, so here, this looks like it almost looks like it's a beach, but I don't think so. It could just That might be Ellie in the background. I can't tell with the blurriness. Something about it makes me think it's a beach, but it really just could be anywhere. Who knew? Who even knows? And of course, here is this shot. This was probably from what they were shooting in Edmonton because they had a huge piece of the city blocked off to shoot this. And then back here, this building right here, screen's moving. This building right here is a building that they shot in Edmonton as well. And I'm pretty sure the building looks pretty similar to how that actually looks in real life. And it's where they're going, so it's kind of their goal. That's like a secret hideout, or not so much secret, but you can really see the overgrowth of the city here with the cars over here, and it's of course the amount of detail that they put in. I mean, it's hard to tell which is a set and which is digitally altered because I'm sure some of this, anything beyond here, is probably like digital or close to it. And here they are hiding, and then there's a museum that there you can tell that's like an old musket of some sort because they go into the Boston Museum, I think it is. So they're in there hiding from a clicker. And you get another kind of, here we go back a little bit, not that far. So you kind of get a look at the clicker, although you do get a little bit of a better look later on. But it's a little blurry on purpose, and they're obviously not going to give us a good view until the show comes out. But I mean, I can tell that it looks a lot like the game just from what I've seen. And this here, I feel like this is Pedro and his daughter, or Joel and his daughter right here, who this was the opening of the show, or opening probably the first episode of when the actual, I guess you could call it, pandemic hits, and the city that they're in starts going into havoc. And this is his daughter, and he's trying to just save her. You can tell from his facial hair that he's younger because in the games it takes there's a 20-year jump, but I think in the show they're only doing like a 10-year jump, or maybe by now it's 20 because it's supposed to be taking place. This is supposed to be taking place in 2003 for reasons I'm not too sure as to why they did that because doesn't have to be, but they decided to do that way. But yes, you can see his daughter Sarah, I think her name is. I forget her name. Sorry for being lame. Wish there was a way to seek this better without like having to stop. Yeah, and here they are in a car, hanging out. This is definitely when they first just kind of hooked up because Joel, or Pedro, just looks really irritated and grumpy. and she's holding a map. And he says something about her being cargo. Right here, he says a line, "You're cargo." Turn it up a little. Yeah. And then here is another great wide shot of everything and the amount of. I'm not sure what this bridge is. I don't know of any bridges in Calgary that looks like that. So how much of this is real or fake? It's pretty hard to tell. You see all the broken down stuff, the trailers, the ships that are floating in the water. They're probably all digital right here. But yes, Joel says that she's cargo, so that would be when they meet very first time. So he's probably already irritated with her that he even has to do this, and he just looks at her as a job, not as a person. So here is the I forget what the police are called now. I'm so bad at remembering all the stuff, but you can just see that they're policing the anyone who's not essentially in with their little jail, as you would, not a jail, but it's like a shanty town where they're kind of controlling it, and that's what the Fireflies are like against that. So here, I don't know if they're hiding from these guys or they're hiding from clickers. It's probably these guys, because if they find them, they'll likely shoot them. Okay, here we get another good shot of a clicker. You can see it moving. It looks like it's not fully changed. Like, can I move that in a little bit? Yeah, you can. It looks like they're wearing pants here, so it's almost like their head has been changed and they're already like full grown, like kind of monster, but they're still wearing like clothes because usually the really badass clickers are just covered in the fungus stuff and they don't have like any clothing or whatnot. I don't know if because it just bursts through it and it all falls off or something, but here it kind of looks like this clicker is wearing clothing. Still in the Boston Museum, I believe. So here we are. This is this is the biggest thing that I was surprised they talked about in the trailer, unless it's already been made known to the audience. But spoiler alert, if you don't want anything to be spoiled, Ellie is vulnerable to this fungus, which is the whole point of why Joel is taking her to a safer place to, get her blood analyzed for a cure. They don't. I don't know if they ever get into how she's not vulnerable to it. So, but yeah, they explained that right in the trailer, which I kind of was surprised. I thought they would keep that on the down low until the show came out, because it would be a pretty interesting reveal to anyone who doesn't know the story. So I'm surprised that they let that part out. Here's like a little bit of a funny part of Ellie and her sauciness, her attitude, and you can see her full on exactly like in the game with the red hoodie, and you can hear. It's the first time you get a good hear of Bella Ramsey's voice as well. So, like I said, pretty much any British actor has been great at playing an American, so I'm sure she'll just sound fine. Here she's a little like embarrassed or something, or maybe she regrets making a joke of this horrible thing that's been like ruining the planet or the world. Though I guess it's never really been too clear on how if this has affected the entire world. This is a shot that I'm not clear of where it could be. Some type of hideout that maybe they get to later on. But you can see the little butterfly over here. There's like some silence in the actual trailer itself. There's like kind of just noise. I guess it's like a ham radio of some sort. CB radio. Yeah. Some type of radio for communicating. And here's another sweet shot. Oh, I'll go back to that one. Here's another shot that's a lot like the game of them constantly like climbing across over the actual monsters to like avoid them being detected and whatnot. Here's Joel and what's this chick's name? Shit, I forget her name. I shouldn't forget her name. That's bad. Anna Torv. Anna Torv or something like that is the actress name. I forget who she plays in the game. But yeah, here's Ellie crossing the roof to uh, crossing her roof to whatever safety, I guess. And here's a nice big shot of the city and how destroyed it is, and some kind of clock tower that's in somewhere in the states that I guess is well known. Here there's the police again, breaking down doors, looking for any survivors. These are kind of like the bad guys on top of the actual monsters. And then here is the winter, which is not part of the original game. And now we see Graham Greene, a legendary Canadian actor who I'm so glad is in the show because he's just a man. He's always been awesome. More fungus overgrowth. I'm not sure who this is. I think these are people that were just made for the show because I don't remember them being in the game. But I guess these are people that take them in and let them stay there for a bit. This here looks like it could be maybe a posse of some sort. I'm not sure if Joel and Ellie are in there because there seems to be a lot of horse riding in this, which was part of the original game, but not that much. There's a lot more in the second game. Yeah, they're being surrounded. I don't know, but this part, the baby part, okay, I want to go back to the baby part again. Okay, that actually looks like Ashley Johnson, the voice actor for Ellie. I'm pretty sure that's her. So I'm not sure what this is about. If this is like just maybe some woman who has a baby during the thing and whatever. This looks a lot like Ashley Johnson, so it could be her. And it's still kind of unclear what her and the role her and Troy Baker are playing in the show. I mean, they might just have a super small role. Maybe they're even a couple and they have a baby together. But I'm just coming up. I'm just literally thinking that on the fly right now. So I'm not sure. But this looks a lot like Ashley Johnson. Shit. Is this here? Yeah, this is the mall. This looks like the mall that her and that other girl from that DLC that I never played left behind. I'm thinking this is like the mall scene. Definitely a mall area where they just kind of hang out. Her and the other girl right there. You can see they're screwing around in some photo booth, I guess. Her name I forget again from the game, and her real name something Reed, Summer Reed maybe. I don't know. I'm bad with names. And then there's Bill, another guy that he captured, and just the father and son, whose names I also forget. And then there's Joel getting crazy. I think this here might be from the first part of the actual outbreak, and they're escaping in a car, in a vehicle with his daughter. More guitar, more, not guitar, but I'm not sure who this guy is, but he doesn't look like a good guy. He captures Ellie, and I guess he's gonna like torture her, and then Bill, he probably saves her. So this guy is definitely a bad guy. This scene right here, I can't tell who this is. I think it's someone turning, is in the middle of turning. I don't know. It may even be Ashley Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised if she plays a clicker. Or it could be Bella. It's hard to see from the face. But I feel like this is someone who's like starting to change and they're losing their shit. So they're like, the brain's starting to just go nuts and they're turning feral. Or it could just be someone who's really angry crawling away from something. And then there's another clicker shot, barely seen it. And Joel and Ellie hugging. Because, you know. And here's also the big shot right here of a huge clicker. I'll go back just a little bit. Can I go back to that? So yeah, there's like a little clicker over here who's like still human. This is a full-on clicker, but this is like there weren't any like this in the game. This one looks like it's twice the size of a regular person. So I'm not sure if they have like super clickers in the show that are like, I don't know, been turned for so long that they've grown in size, or they just decided that they get that big when they're fully changed. But it's interesting to note, how big this thing is. It's like twice the size of a regular person. These guys are running. People are running away, obviously, because these things are scary. But yeah, there's going to be a huge clicker in there at least once, but we don't know if that means that's how much they turn, or that's just a super one who's like mutated or something. Here he is turning to yellow a little bit. It almost kind of looks like they crawl along. I'm not sure if they're coming up out of something or if they crawl along the ground a little bit. Like this one over here looks like he's kind of crawling a little bit. Or maybe they didn't. It's hard to say. Okay, that was my little breakdown of the trailer. So I don't know if that was any good, if that was detailed, if you learned anything or not. But that was definitely the best of all the trailers they come out with so far. So yeah, that was pretty sick. I'm almost like driving myself nuts with how much I'm hyped for the show. But today was crazy in the amount of content. You got the trailer and you got the CX panel that's already been uploaded. So I got like 3 or 4 or 5 videos up about all of this. So yeah, subscribe, like, watch my other stuff, share it, and yeah, keep watching anything. Watch anything. Doesn't matter if it's HBO or video games. Everything coming out is like good. Like and subscribe.